folks over on, well, hopefully I'll get all this stuff going on. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Huh. How is that? Let's see. 3 minutes, 2 minutes ago, and we'll see if anybody pops in here. YouTube live. Nothing like it should be. Let's see. Anybody? If I was in here, can you see me? Can you hear me? I don't know what the hell went on with that. It said I went live. Can you see me now? Loud and clear. All right. Video's still up on the other one. I ended the broadcast, so I have no clue what to tell you about that. I don't know. Don't know what happened. I hit start, and the audio's okay and the video's okay. All right. Wednesday, anything goes. All right. So Wednesday night, anything goes, open lines. You saw 30 seconds of you. Really? That is just weird. I don't know. All right. So seeing, well, let's go ahead, and it looks like I'm going to have to say that prayer one more time, but that's all right. I don't mind praying. All right, folks. So let's get this one. I don't know what I'm 4 minutes late, so I apologize. I'm live over on YouTube. I'm live over on Paranormal Radio app, Dark Waters channel. Also, my Facebook and Twitter pages should be able to see me live for whatever reason. I don't know what the hell went on with that. But here we go. I humbly ask our Lord Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Mother Mary that if it be in accordance with your holy will, that all curses, evil, demonic involvement, and or attacks being sent against us be blocked and be sent back from whence it came. Dear God, bless those that are in need of healing, that are in pain, body, mind, spirit. Send your angels of mercy to those folks. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. So, definitely, I don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you. I hit play. I backed out, turned off my, ended my browser session, the whole 9 yards. Get rid of glitches. Well, hopefully that was a glitch that I don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you what happened. But it's just weird, totally 100%. But anyway, well, I was using a copyrighted piece of material as I started the show, but I've got permission to use it. Let's see if this, hell, why not? Let's hit this and hit play and see if this does it. If this ends my live stream, then I know what the hell happened. So I'm going to play about 15 seconds of this, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll get into the, oh, wait a minute. We got big, give me just a second. We'll nix that. We'll just start the show out right now. All right, Big Co, give me just a second. Are you live? Can you hear me? Big Co, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
All right, what's going on with you, Big Co?
Oh, I just called. I didn't know if you were live or not.
Yeah, I'm live. I had
up like it's not.
Yeah, it's live. I had to end that one and then make a new one. I don't know what the hell went on.
Okay.
I'm live.
So how you been?
Oh, I'm doing all right, brother. Been writing daily, getting a lot of requests to be on shows. So it's just one of those things. Hey, Laura, what's going on? Jean Paul, salute, brother. But what's going on with you? Anything other than chasing me?
No, just enjoying my last couple of days of home time.
That's cool, brother. That's cool.
Yeah.
So so you've had some vacation time or start a new job, or what's going on with you?
No, just my regular time off.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any new stories or anything like that, or just making sure that I'm live somewhere?
I'm just making sure that Sean G is live somewhere. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I should be live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the Paranormal Radio app, which that never halted. So, folks on the Paranormal Radio app, I apologize, but apparently StreamYard wasn't playing fun with me. So, anyway, appreciate you calling in there, Big Co. God bless you.
Absolutely. You take care,
All
sir.
right. See you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Oh, I have no clue what the hell that glitch was. Has anybody that uses StreamYard ever had that happen to them? It just boggles my mind. It's usually pretty freaking seamless, other than occasionally I'll have a connection issue while I'm live on air, but I don't have a connection issue. Everything was, I don't know. I thought I restarted everything, but you know how it goes. Anyway, tonight, in homage, respect Art Bell renamed my open lines to anything goes open lines. Of course, anything doesn't go, but you have to abide by, Twitter rules, big YouTube rules, and all that kind of stuff. So, wow. What are you guys drinking? Medium dark roast coffee right here with me. Oh my God. Night Wolf, what's going on? And let's see. Big Co found everyone. Yes, you did. Appreciate you calling in there, Big Co. I'm going to have to probably go and hide that last stream out. I don't know what the heck went on with that one. But maybe they'll find me. Maybe they won't. If they don't, heck, for the folks that do find me, we'll get there going. Please, if anybody wanted to share out this stream right now, would probably be it, because of the crazy glitches that just happened. That was a glitch that hadn't happened before. But hey. Gene Fox says, I'm working, but will be listening. Sue, what's up from down under? Had a pretty cool week. Interesting week, that's for sure. This old house has been, interestingly, what would I say? Active? I wouldn't say active. Yeah, I guess ever since the word's probably been active. Let's see. So, actually, the weird thing is as I was starting up my stream, I went and checked on my cameras. And this one, my hallway camera, I saw just something long just went down the side there. Couldn't tell you what it was, but there you go. 931-994-6917. The renamed Anything Goes open lines. Anything goes. Let's see who's in the chat. We got Bass. What's going on, brother? Big Cole, thanks for calling on. Ivy, thanks for all those kind words that you drop in the community tab when I do my daily blogging or whatever. Wiggler, what's going on? If you want to be in, let's see, copy clipboard, I don't care. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. You got to behave yourself, of course, if you do jump on. If you're a hot pocket, why not? Might as well have fun too. But holy cow, been writing every day. Actually, after I wrote my community post for today, I hadn't written a whole lot, and then something just cracked in me, and I wrote and wrote and wrote. And I was like, all right. And I looked up and I was like, oh my God, I got about 30 minutes before I have to go live. So, Red Raider, what's going on with you? So, if you want to jump in to tonight's chat, or not from tonight's chat, in tonight's show, if you've got a computer or a smartphone, smart tablet, whatever, just grab that link there. All you have to do is share out your audio or your video or both, whichever. Just follow the easy to do instructions. Just be sure to extinguish your audio device in the background. Jean Paul, salute. Please share this one out because of the glitches I had on the first initial whatever happened. I have no clue what happened there. But there you go. Was it me or something just pop up there? Yeah, there you go. I saw orb. Or maybe that was a bug. That was probably a bug. But anyway, there you go. Let's remove that while we're going in here. Dim lady, what's going on? How you guys doing? Stimulate, buddy. Glad to see you. Had an interesting call late Saturday into the last or maybe the next to last call Saturday night. Orb or maybe a bug. Don't know. Hell, why not we just pop it back up there and show my whole thing here. All right, this is not all my cameras in the house, but we'll get this going on here. There you go. Enough of them anyway. But there you go. Let's see. I've got top, the left side got the living room. Top middle is my kitchen window, which you can see probably a highway way back in the back in trees if you see a car go by there. And then that's my parking lot, and you can see the footprint of the old feed store, concrete footprint there. And got upstairs, and then my front door. Oh, okay. The reflection in the lattice there is probably from the IR light that is in the living room next to the chair there. And then my basement, my hallway, and then my dining room right there. And that's usually where I am seated on my days off when I don't do shows, riding and, just doing whatever I need to do for the day. So there you go. I don't know what the heck that was. It was either a orb or a bug or whatever you want to call it. So I'm glad that you guys caught me. And like I said, if you ever thought about just saying, hey, I need to share out Sean's stream right now, would probably be good, because everywhere I plastered my stream earlier today, that link is no longer functioning. It wasn't the orb bug. It was after TBAF. TBAF. Okay. Cool. It was after. Oh, okay. I don't know what that was. Well, let's see. I'll bring up actually, if any place that I have noticed personally has been active, my kitchen is over into, if you look directly from my kitchen, you can look into my dining room and partly into this hallway right here. I have seen so many things stick its head around that doorway. And the door there that's right in front of you is my door to my basement. I had a bunch of people and just like look at the door and look downstairs and no, I'm not going down there. Okay. 931-994-6917. The anything goes open lines is open, ready for you to go. Get them. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? Yeah, Elon Musk apparently bought old Twitter for like 43 or 44 billion dollars, chump change. I don't know. I just don't have that kind of change laying around in my back seat or in between my cushions. I probably have 30 or 40 bucks stuck away somewhere, shoved in some sort of cubby hole that I have no clue about. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen over on Twitter. And then there's been a bunch of rocket launches there lately, if you hadn't noticed, up to the International Space Station. You never know what's going on with that. Can he buy the White House too? I wish, Laura, he could. I honestly, I think the White House been bought a long time ago, but that's just my personal opinion. I, but speculation. Internet sucking, but you're trying to keep. All right, there, Jack. I appreciate that. Elon is a showed. Elon's a rich guy. I don't know what. Can you imagine having that much money to say, yeah, I want to go ahead and buy 43 billion, 44 billion, or $1 billion worth of whatever, and not really affect your daily income? Not affect, hey, anything actually, other than probably gave him a fucking headache. But oh yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, definitely one of those things where you kind of wonder how a geriatric patient gets in control of anything. That's my personal opinion. Especially with one that has dementia signs. But if you know what I'm talking about, yeah, Bass catches all kinds of stuff. Scotty, what's going on? Appreciate you dropping by there. 931-994-6917. If you want to help a fella out, call that number. Let's have a conversation about anything. Anything goes, open lines. In homage to the late great Art Bell, which I never did get to talk with that fella. I did get a call from his show number one night on Spooky Matters, and I submitted. He wanted to. This was back when he was on extraterrestrial radio. Submitted a conversation or story about a shadow ghost, a shadow whatever. Oh, there you go. What was that, a orb? Well, that could be a bug. I hadn't seen any bugs in here lately, but could have been a bug. Now, don't get me wrong. This place has some bugs in it, but I haven't seen anything flying around. But there you go. So, you want to hear ghost stories, or what do you want to hear? Since nobody's called in, it usually takes about 30 minutes to get called up. But I'm going to give it a little bit more, since I had to close out a stream, and restart a new stream. For whatever reason, StreamYard was being a douche. Man, why does that taste so weak? So, anything goes. Call in 931. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, and definitely if you even halfway like what you're hearing, or had liked what you're hearing in the past, share it out to your socials. What the hell's going on in that hallway? Was it me, or did that frickin' orb stop in the middle of the hallway? I don't know. That's just weird. Well, we might be seeing something tonight, folks. I don't know. I definitely do not see anything over here in the corner in my dining room. Of course, you can see that. Well, I think that may be a bug. That could be a bug. That's too active to not be a bug. Do I have the video feed with the basement door open? No, I don't. I usually keep it closed. Um, just because the last time I had a bat loose. Well, actually, it's been 2 years ago. Has it been that long? Lord help me. Yeah, it has been 2 years since I had left that basement door open for any given length of time. Actually, no. I had my furnace serviced about 2 weeks ago. But I had a bat loose in this house. When my sister lived here after my brother passed away, she moved in to kind of get her bearings and everything straightened up, because she basically moved in with my brother and took care of him last days. And after that, she moved in with me for a little bit to get her bearings straight. It's been a little over 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been a little over 2 years ago now. But there's a bat loose, and here is my one-legged butt chasing a bat in a wheelchair with a broomstick. And guess who knocked the hell out of a bat? This guy. Don't ask me how or what, but I knocked it for a loop and got it out, and it was alive. It still was breathing when I knocked it out and threw it outside. But who knows? I don't know. Do you know? Let's see. You know how or who the spirits are in your house? Yeah, I know two of them. There's a third that I can't quite put my finger on, but the ones that show up most often here lately, there's been all kinds of them showing up. Like today, I was writing about another angel, of course. That BAP was probably flying around Sean's house thinking, "Oh crap, I think this place is probably, probably." Hey, Oracles, how you doing? Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Go look up Oracles and Beyond. She's got a pretty cool show going on. Definitely drop you links. If you have a wrench, drop you a link to your particular YouTube or whatever your favorite YouTube you have. Go ahead and do that if you want to. Feel free. Whispers. Whispers in here? I hadn't seen Whispers. Whispers TV, if you're in here, I didn't see you. Holly, hey, glad to see you here. But the two that I would, there's Whispers. Glad to see you. There was a younger girl, and I've told this story so many times. And then, if you're a regular, which you probably are, if you're a regular, you've heard me talk about the lady at the top of the stairs. That was the daughter of, or is the daughter of the proprietor of the feed store. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can bring it up. What the heck is going on with my desk? Anyway, let's see. Where is this? Right here. There we go. If you can see the outline, hey, look at that stars out and about there. You can see the outline with the fence, and then looks like probably a square. That is the footprint of the old feed store, which was 2 and 3 stories high. And literally, when I was just a kid when this was still up, it was probably 15 feet between this house I'm in and the wall of the feed store. They exited the back door or the front door, and they were in the feed store. That close, without a doubt. But the little girl, she was probably didn't know this until later, about a year ago. The old man that haunts this place, which I think I've got a record. Well, I got a recording of a male voice that I do not know who the hell it is. Don't know the voice. Couldn't tell you who the voice is. All my family's heard that voice. Said I have no clue who it is. And what it was is my brother and somebody else was in the house. And what I think it distinctly says, "I wish you both," and I, kind of got garbly, but it was louder and clearer than any other voice that was on camera at that time. And I promised I would never play it publicly again. I played it to, 2 folks in private, and they kind of go, "Wow." But, I'll go by my promise. I'm not going to play something public when I said I'm not going to play it publicly anymore. But I will tell you, if you look about probably a year and a half ago on, if you still got it up, Dark Waters, if you see anything that has to do with a EVP session or whatever, it probably has been played about a year and a half ago. So that's still up somewhere over on the Dark Waters channel. But yeah, that's interesting. But there you go. There's the 2 cents on that. The old man, I think, was in there. That was the voice. And it's just the weirdest thing, so I can tell you. That's the best EVP I've ever heard in my entire freaking life, anywhere, on any freaking station, radio show, documentary, whatever. But there you go. Anyway, enough about the old EVP crap. I was told by a reliable source angels travel in orbs. Angels, celestial beings, can assume anything. Any orbs, squares, triangles, bodies, you name it. They can appear to you in any shape, form, or fashion. The two that I have seen here recently, which I may have seen one earlier, I'm not quite sure because it wasn't as tall. Definitely wasn't as tall as the two that I seen a couple weeks ago. May Reed, well, hey, what is going on? Glad that you dropped by. So, how is it with you guys? Have you had any for the folks in the chat there over on the Chasing Truth Sean G YouTube channel? Looks like everybody's coming in. We are doing. I've renamed the open lines to Anything Goes Open Lines. So barring any kind of freaking rule regulation on any platform that this is on, paranormal radio app, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, you got to go by, a little decorum there. Okay, here's something for you. Angels can appear as regular people on the street. That's why it's important to be kind to strangers. So, I don't think Donnie would be too opposed to this idea, which I absolutely believe this. I think angels, the celestial beings, walk among us without a doubt. Probably lead lives to a certain extent. Now, if you believe it or not, that's my opinion. That's what I believe in. But there you go. You don't want to accidentally be rude and, an angel in disguise. I try not to be rude to anybody unless they they deserve it. But that part of my life has blown by, thank God. Yep, so I sure believe that 100%. Well, stimulate. I believe, you and I are the same milk, I believe. But I have come across a few angels before this near-death experience. I can honestly tell you, Lord, if I woke up with what I had seen so far, which woke up, let's see, the 20, probably about the 23rd of December 2nd or 3rd, possibly, of 2015. In a hospital bed about 40 miles away from where I started this journey and had my amputated leg amputated twice. If I woke up with what I had seen now, I'd probably be in lunatic asylum. I guess. I don't know. Well, I can't say that. I guess I did, but I can't say that. December 30th is your birthday, Scott. Well, happy belated birthday. But I think that's about I'm just calculating how much time I was in a coma versus, being transported to a new hospital for 3 months and, have a 3-month stay, a 3-month tour, a 3-month tour. That was a weird 3 months, I tell you. No song today. Wait a minute. All right. So, what the hell was in my living room? I just saw something in my living room. Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw up my cameras one more time because I just saw something blow by my camera in the living room pointed at my dining room, or pointed at my mantle. The top left-hand corner here, I saw something blow by here. Don't know. Could be a bug. I'm not saying it is, and I'm saying it's not. Could be an orb. Could be something else. I couldn't tell you, but I've seen some crazy stuff on these cameras. And definitely upstairs. But there you go. I got 2 cameras in the living room, by the way. The top left-hand corner camera and the middle row very right camera is both in the living room. And I just Hazes, thank you for the donation on the Cash App. I appreciate that. Hazes, appreciate that. That is something to touch on. How many people see something paranormal and have a breakdown? Only for some psych doctor to tell them what they saw isn't real. I dare say, I actually had this conversation several times. Several times. How many people are in an insane asylum or, on God knows what kind of medication because they have a connection that, the rest of us have been, without, or I firmly believe that we see or easily can see stuff when we're kids and then we just kind of grow out of it or be told that, hey, no, that's not real. I can remember having conversations with my father about seeing stuff in an old trailer, which I've told stories about this. I used to live in a trailer court when I was like 4. The hell was that? Okay, I heard something just now. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard like a female voice. But anyway, there you go. If you heard a female voice besides me on this live stream, just let me know if you had. But lived in this trailer court, and the trailer court was surrounded on 2 sides by a big ass graveyard cemetery. And it was not uncommon for me to see as a 3 to 5, 7-year-old. I think we moved out of there when I was 7, give or take. Moved to another spot. See stuff walking down the hallway. Oh, well, Danielle Borzan looks like she's out of work and is moving back to in her house or whatever. She just texted me. That's kind of cool. But yes, indeed. Thank you. Let's see. Hazes, I appreciate you giving me that tip on my Cash App. Appreciate that very greatly. I will put that toward internet fees and stuff. Definitely appreciate that. Everybody loves to say this stuff is free, and it costs to have internet, it costs to have lights, costs to have all this kind of stuff. But I'll definitely put that 20 donation toward the oh, Danielle's kind of cool. All right, we got a unscreened caller on the anything goes open lines. You're live on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
This is Night.
Hey, you need to, if you're on a speakerphone, you need to get off the speakerphone. I can barely hear you, and I've got you piped as loud as I can go.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, there you go. I can hear you.
Okay. I had you on Bluetooth.
Oh, that's all right, brother.
Okay.
So, what's your name?
I seen the process on your book going good.
Yeah, day 76. Can you believe I've been doing this for 76 days? I remember just waking up going, okay, God, I'm ready to write. And then 1 hour out after that, I got 3 emails saying, hey, I'd love to help you write a book. And I never said a damn word about writing a book. And I prayed to God and said, yes, I'll write a book. And I woke up to 3 emails. Yes, I will. I'd love to help you write a book. And I never said a word about it. So just to let you know. So, yeah, Mike, what's going on with you? Where are you at today?
Well, I'm in Dallas right now.
So how's Dallas doing you? All right.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So you want to talk about some ghosts?
Yeah, if you got a ghost story, I'd love to hear a ghost story.
Oh, I got several of them.
All right, let's hear it, buddy.
Okay. When I was living with my grandmother, I told you about the demon shadow figure that kind of ran a
Oh,
while
yeah.
back. It's been a while since I called. On that same street, I used to have a friend that lived 2 houses down, and he had a stepbrother that would come and visit every weekend. And we would go down to the store, ride skateboards and bicycles at night. Now, my grandma's house was at the end of the street, and third house up was my grandmother's old house. And my aunt and her husband lived in there. Aunt and uncle. We were walking down that street one night going to the store to ride. I know it was probably about 10 o'clock at night. The store had been closed for a while. And there was a little boy sitting on the back of my uncle's car.
Okay.
He was wearing a red collar, blue horizontal stripe on the shoulders, and
Hey.
then red, blue.
Hey, Mike, they're saying that your audio is a little bit muffled. Are you on speakerphone or you actually talking on the phone?
I'm on speakerphone.
You probably
see if I can.
Yeah, you probably need to just put it on the regular style and talk like that.
Can you hear me now better?
Oh, yeah, there we go. I can hear you now better.
All right.
All right.
Walking down on the back of my uncle's car. Used to be my grandmother's house. My aunt and uncle lives there. He had a 60-something model parked on the side of the road. And he called it the Twinkie because it looked like a Twinkie. And there was a little boy sitting on the trunk. And we all saw him. And we thought it might have been somebody from a house down. And we went walking up there, and he just poof, disappeared. Freaked us out. We walked all the way. Now I live across the street is a nursing home. We walked all through the nursing home parking lot all the way to the front of the store. And we sat down there and played for, golly, 3-4 hours riding bike and all that. Didn't want to come back. And then I heard my grandmother calling, and then I heard my aunt calling. So we start to come back, and we're walking down there. And that little boy was sitting behind or standing behind my uncle's car again. And he had, like I said, a red collar, blue, red, horizontal color shirt, almost like a polo shirt, and blue jeans. And we started walking around and we saying, hey, 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 and poof, disappeared. So we took off running through the nursing home parking lot, ran down the fence, far away from my aunt's house as we could get. We all took off to our houses. I had to be about 17 years old when that happened. Yeah, that's the only time I ever seen that boy. And we played all the time out there. That was the first time we seen it, last time we saw it. I don't know if it just come with the car. My uncle sold that car not too long after that and bought a old Mercedes-Benz. Ones that look like bubbles.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I remember those. That's back in the early days of James Bond, that kind of stuff, that kind of car.
Yeah, he bought that, and he drove that thing around all the time. My cousin got that car when he got old enough, and he drove it for a little while, and then he parked it up.
So you think that car was haunted by a little boy? Is that what you're?
Yeah, it was a little bitty boy. I saw he had blonde hair and almost, I would say a bowl cut, but not a bowl cut. You know, the bowl haircuts.
Yeah. I actually,
but it wasn't
I grew
like
up with those
it
damn
was.
haircuts actually
Yeah.
when I was a little boy.
But that was 17 years old. I remember the
Well, that's
now
wrong.
me and my after I turned 18, I used to drive nights, go all over the place. I mean, that's get my friends and we drive and well, drink and drive. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can hear you
Yeah.
loud and clear,
And
brother.
we would go ghost hunting. Well, my sister come to it. We went to my sister's house. She's married at this time. And they were telling me about this house over here in a little town called Williana. And she started talking about this little girl ghost out there. And I said, "Oh man, that's cool. We need to go there." So we all hopped in my car. I had a '77 Plymouth Fury with a 318 and a 4-barrel in it. It was my grandpa's car, and we hopped in there. My sister and her husband and her brother, his brother, brought us to this house, and they said, "You stay here and you sit out here, and this is, you'll see her. You'll see her." And so we sitting out there watching, and then next thing I noticed it looked like fireflies, little lights pulsating. And then they started going into the yard from both sides of the house. Now you're looking at the front of the house, the front door. It has 2 windows on your left side looking at it and 2 windows on the right. And then the upstairs had it's like a doghouse window, but you can walk to it. You know, ones that stick out further. Like and the porch is there underneath the front door, and that's the front porch. And then it had a single window up top on each, and then a single on the right hand side on top. Well, those lights would pulsate, and they look like fireflies. And that's what we were all saying, they're fireflies. Well, next thing you know, you watched them, they would go into the wall, and they'd be in the window on the inside of the house. And then they started getting more and more and more. And then it would be a pinkish color, a bluish color. And all of a sudden they started going up toward the top of the house. And as they were going up to the top of the house, if you looked at the center window, supposedly this is her bedroom. I really don't know. I never went in the house. But she started appearing, and she was wearing, we call them Easter dresses, but they're more of a summer dress, spring dress like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ones that just the big wide sleeve on top and your arm and shoulder showing, the top of your arm and shoulder showing. And that time I saw it, it was yellow with a flower print on it. And she come in full view, and the girls started freaking out. The guys, we all started freaking out. We jumped in the car and took off. Well, I was maybe a year later. We go to the graveyards and look for ghosts and spirits and stuff, and we'd see orbs and everything, and then we'd go to the next one, and then we'd go to the next one. Well, my friend said, "Hey, let's go to that house." So we went over there. Now, these are different girls, but all the same boys. Now, this night was freezing cold, and I'm driving a S15 GMC. And the girls are in the front, and the guys are in the back of the truck, and I'm driving. And we go to the house, and we're all sitting there, and the same thing happened, the exact same thing. you see the fireflies looking things, and then all of a sudden you see them go through the wall, and then there's more and more inside the bottom floor, and then they start going up like into the ceiling, and then she starts appearing. But this time, she was wearing a green. The green color. It's a pale green, almost like a spring green color, but the same type of dress with flower patterns on it. And the girls started freaking out. The girls jumped in. My other friend, he jumped in the front. All the guys were having their head. I got a sliding back glass on that truck. They had their heads in the window and telling me, go, 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 go. And we took off. And I took my wife there twice. First time we went, didn't see anything. Second time we went, I brought a Ouija board, and that's a big. Don't buy one. Don't mess with them.
So where'd you get it? Where'd you get the Ouija
Don't
board?
even look at them. It was a Mattel game board you buy at Walmart. That's what I bought. Don't look at them. Don't mess with them. Just leave them alone. Even them are messed up. Well, I brought it up there, and she started seeing the lights. Well, I said, let's get out and let's do the Ouija board, see if we can talk to her. Well, I jumped out the car, got to the back of the truck, and then I hear my doors locked.
Okay.
And she said, she's screaming, you can do it on your effing own. You can do it on your effing own. I ain't doing it. So I'm sitting there at the back of the truck. At this time, I had a Mazda bubblegum blue 2300 at that time. We just got married. Hadn't been married maybe 2 years. And I said, forget this. I just slung the Ouija board in the back of the truck, closed the tailgate, and I banging on the door, let me in, let me in, let me in. But she didn't appear that time. It just, the lights started happening and going through that sequence like it did the other two times. Yeah. And the last time, the third time we went out there, they had demolished the house. To the house. It was rotting through the other time we went. It was rotting through.
Right.
The whole back was almost going off the back of the house. But supposedly, this is what the story is that my brother-in-law and my sister had gotten, was that sometimes in the springtime, I don't know if it was Easter or not, that her and her brother was playing, and that he had a knife and he accidentally stabbed her, and she died. And supposedly the boy, the parents put him in a psych ward.
Wow.
I don't know if that, but I can't, hey, that's true. I looked it up and everything. That's before computers.
So what?
That's before I had a computer.
What was the reason that he was put in a psych ward?
I don't guess the parents put him there. According to them, the parents were owned a lot of logging business and were kind of high up in that area. And I guess they put him in there. I don't really to save face. I really don't know. I'd love to tell you, but that's all I got from it.
Wow.
I'm trying to put them in categories. Yeah, me and my wife used to go ghost hunting. Now I tell you, I don't buy Ouija board. Don't worry about it. Don't leave it alone.
I have, the closest I've been to a Ouija board is actually in Walmart.
Yeah,
that's
where I bought mine.
Now I can't say that I've not been in a place that has a Ouija
I've been
board
in
in
places
it, but
that got them
nothing.
open and everything.
Yeah.
And I've been to people's houses that have them, and they're trying to do them, and I just walk out. I leave. You can have it. That Ouija board I kept in my daughter's room with the games, board games, Monopoly, Clue, and all like that. And I went to clean her room out because I ain't trust them. This is in the house I live in now. And my Aunt Tressa had bought this land. My grandmother built this house. Now, I helped build it. I helped build my aunt's house. I did the brickwork and the flooring and some other things. And my grandmother's house, I did the flooring and part of the brickwork. But I was working for a company when I was doing it. The flooring I did on my own. She asked for the flooring. She went and bought it. I put it down. But then my mom built next door to me. My mom still lived there. Her husband. My mom's fourth husband. That house had that Ouija board in there. Well, I went and cleaned her room out. And I grabbed that Ouija board. I said, I don't want it in my house no more. We got to get rid of it. I forgot about it being up there, to be honest with you. And my aunt would come and pick my wife up and my daughter up. And they go to McDonald's. And, you get McDonald's toys. Every day, they would go to McDonald's and get McDonald's toys. And I still got some of the glasses that, the collectible glasses.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a weird thing. Here in where I live in Southwest Virginia and Kentucky border, Hardee's is a fast food burger chain, and I found an old Hardee's glass, and I can't remember what the promotion was, of my cupboard today, and I was like, I ain't seen that damn thing in a long time. So I
didn't even know they did it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hardee's, I ain't seen Hardee's
Oh,
I never seen a Hardee's when I was younger.
Carl Jr. and Hardee's is the same organization, just wherever you're located. That's basically same venue, same menu.
Yeah, Carl Jr.'s in Colorado, because we stopped there on the way up there for Christmas. And I ate at Hardee's too. Being a truck driver, every once in a while you get to eat out. When you're married, your wife cooks every day for you, so you got food. But I threw that Ouija board. I took him through all that Ouija board. Now, I'm going to tell you how much stuff my daughter had in her room. I filled that B-2300 back of that truck with garbage bags full of toys and old clothes and that Ouija board. I threw it away. I brought it to the dump. I lived maybe a mile and a half from the dump.
Okay.
Threw it away. I remember throwing it because it wasn't in the bag.
You're not going to tell me that damn.
And I threw it out there.
You're not going to tell me that damn board wound back up in your house after you threw it away.
Yep.
Holy crap.
I think it was like 3 weeks later. My daughter wanted to play Monopoly, so went in there. She can't get in top closet. She's only like 5 years old at that time. And get up there, and that Ouija board was sitting up in the top of that closet. And Lacore is going to be mad because I've listened to her talk about it. I brought that sucker in the backyard and burned it.
Oh, really? I saw Lacore in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still there, but
I burned that sucker, and it didn't come back, but a bunch of stuff stayed in my house.
Holy cow! Well, if they're
walking in the attic. I mean, now we used to go ghost hunting. Remember what's that Ghost Hunter show used to come out? That was coming out, and we were really big on it. They used to do the plumbing.
Oh,
I think the name of that.
Ghost. Yeah, it was called Ghost Hunters show, I think, on the Sci-Fi Channel.
We watched that a lot. Yeah, we watched that, and we'd go out to the graveyards and like that. And I don't go anywhere at night by myself in the woods, graveyards. There's got to be at least 4 people with me. Like that. I told you about the Bigfoot. in Flagon Creek. Well, that I just don't go alone. I got to at least have 4 people with me. I don't even really go in the woods in the dark. I'll walk out when I go hunting. It's daylight, and if I can drive all the way to my deer stand, I'm driving all the way to my deer stand. But man, we would go ghost hunting and take pictures and stuff, and we always had 4 of us and like that. It was usually her friend and her husband, and we went to 2 graveyards, and they're both family graveyards. One is in Flatwoods, and the other one's in Marco area. They both, one's on the west side of I-49, one's on the right side. The one on the west side is French. My family's French and Indian. And then on the other side, it's Spanish. And they got old graves. I'm talking about wood tombstones. And made out of cypress. You can barely even read what they say on some of them.
All right.
And they're covered like it's like a patio covering like that was built. The patio is so old it's got moss over the whole roof. And that's on both sides. And the house on the graveyard on the left, on the west, we went out there one night and seen orbs. Now I took pictures and I didn't get them developed. It was MO disposable cameras, and I had a digital camera and took pictures, and we looked at them. And at that time, they're saying if you catch it on digital, it could be fake, so there's no use. There was a Canon, a little video Canon once, but we kept hearing something walking around the graveyard on the outside of the fence, and it would follow us, and then it would stop, and we start walking, it would start walking, and then we stop, and then when we start walking, and it did that whole time, all the way around that graveyard, all the way back, and then all the way back. I don't know what that was, but only thing I've seen in that graveyard is orbs. And the one on the other side, on the east side, I think it's like maybe 5-6 miles from the Red River. It's got an old church that's also, we have our family reunions there on that side of the family. My grandpa, my great grandpa, my grandma, they lived on that road, and we call it the 100-acre wood. It's more than 100 acres, but we camp out there and deer hunt.
Right.
If you go there's a little church on the edge of our property. That's where my grandma's little girl that died from pneumonia, her second child. I didn't know about her until I was 18 years old, 19 years old. And I asked who that picture was, and then my aunt told me. We'd have Sunday get-togethers every Sunday. It was either somebody's house. Most time it was my grandmother's. And but that little graveyard, I've never seen anything, nothing there. You can walk up. It's got a little church. People go to church there. And then the other one down there, further, I walked in there, me, my wife, and her friend, and her husband walked in there, and you could see shadow figures walking around in that graveyard. Like a blur. Right. And it would blur, and then it would stop, and then another one you'd see them. We saw them. I don't know what they are. The first time I ever went at night was with my friends, and we all went there, and we saw one and it was huge, and it was on the back of the graveyard, and it walked all the way across the whole graveyard. You could watch it walk or floated, whatever you want to call it. It looked like it was walking to me, but it was huge. And we left there, took off fast and left. I went with my wife in there. My sister and them wanted to go there, and I'm like, nope, you can go. I'll park in front of it. You can walk in, but I'm not walking in. I've seen enough of that.
Oh, man. So when are you still doing the paranormal investigation, or did you stop all that stuff?
I really don't have to leave far. All the stuff that's went on at my house, I've talked to Vault. I talked to Vault about things that went on in my house that either it's Dogman or Bigfoot. I don't know. Only thing I can tell you, the eye colors that I've seen. I thought I saw something in the front yard. Every once in a while, you'll see the eye colors in the front yard. I got chickens. They're free roam.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chicken. There was 2 chickens there. A rooster, his name's Foghorn, and a Dominique. And I seen that rooster jumping there, and I heard him cackling. Well, I saw him jump. I smoked a cigarette off the front porch, and I seen him jump up, and I swear there was a hand or something on the back of his tail feathers. He's the only one that got away. It took off with the other one, but I didn't even see it take off with it. That's because I took off running. I got thorns in my feet and cuts all over my arms from trying to run through the briars, trying to catch whatever it was, because you could hear the chicken squawking, and then all of a sudden it stopped. But that house, walking in the attic, I even put a lock on the attic.
Oh, wow.
I put up one of them locks that you take and you put up there and you turn it, you put a key in it and lock it. I put it like, when I go in that attic, it freaks me out every time. I just went in there this weekend putting in electrical line and running security cameras. And it freaks me out every time I go in there. I just don't like going in the attic because of that one thing. You'll hear walking in there, and it's not creaking. It's walking. You can hear it. Doot, 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 doot. Human footsteps. When I first heard it, I thought somebody had broken in the attic. You know the little things on the end of your house that lets the vent air go through?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And this is a brick house. It's not but 27 years old, 28. I went outside looking to see if that thing was off, and there was a ladder there, because that was the only way you get in it, was by a ladder. And there wasn't nothing in there. And I ran back in the house. I told my wife, I said, there ain't nobody in that attic. Them things are on the side of the house, and there's no ladder around, but you could clearly hear it. I seen a black cat on top of my entertainment center, and started swinging at it, like screaming, why is there? I'm not well, I can't say I'm not a cat person, because I got like a bunch of them now. But I didn't have cats at that time. And I was kind of swinging at it, and it was, when I started swinging, it wasn't there. It was there when I went to go walk down the hall, and I looked to the right, and it was sitting on top of my entertainment center looking at me. Now, this was after I burned this Ouija board. And opening doors, closing doors. My wife waking up choking, and this thing sitting over. There's a picture out there. I said, this happened before we got a computer. A lot of this stuff happened. And my daughter was probably about 7, 8 years old before we got a computer. It you'll dial up and all that stuff going on.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Gee
Okay.
whiz, that's
That's
old
old
stuff.
school.
That's old school. You know, a lot of people that's probably
Yeah.
listening now probably have no clue what that sound is like.
But there was a picture. Anyway, my wife's laying in bed. It's for a computer, and when we got the computer, I started looking up stuff. There was a woman. All I can say, she's pale, dead, gray skin, parts of her bones showing, gray, salt pepper like hair hanging down. She was laying over my wife, and she was as long as my wife is, and her hands were around her neck, and her dress had her. The closest I can give to you on the dress was almost like the old timey dresses they used to wear, but just shredded. Like it's like it'd been outside in the woods for 50, 60 years. I was laying in bed asleep, and next thing I know, I'm waking up to my wife just pounding my shoulder, hit me, and gasping. Well, I turned over to look, and that's when I saw that thing on her. And when I saw it rolled off of her to her side of the bed. Matter of fact, our bed is moved now. It's set in a different position because of this. It rolled off her bed on her side and backed up to it was crawling up the side of the wall, but as it was crawling, it was shrinking. And when it got halfway up the wall, let me explain this. The back became the front, and you know what I mean? It's like you've seen the back, and then all of a sudden the front of the person's looking at you, morphing into, I don't know how you explain that.
The person who's looking at you is seeing something that you had no clue
about. You're looking at the back of her, right?
Right.
And as she's climbing up the wall, she's shrinking.
Wait.
And then all of a sudden, her back becomes her front, her face, the hair all over.
So
her
you're not looking at a real person. You're looking at an apparition that looks like a person.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it was. I just tell you, it was a ghost, evil spirit. I don't know. It was choking my wife. Well, my wife saw it at that time, and because I'm pointing at it, look, screaming at her, look, and she saw it. And as she saw it, it started shrinking, and it went up into the corner of the house and got in the corner, and it just sunk into the corner and disappeared. When I saw that, my wife says, "This has been happening to me several nights." And I told her, when she swears, I told her that you need to say the Lord's Prayer. Hallowed be thy name.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom come, thy will be done.
Right.
And quote Psalms. Find you Psalms, start reading the Bible. And she said the next two times it happened, it was less and less. And it don't happen no more. I've never seen that again. That was the only first time I've ever saw it. She saw it. Like that. When I saw it, it was laying on top of her. That'll make your heart stop.
Yeah.
It was in your bedroom. But we started anointing the windows and praying and reading Psalms as we anoint the windows.
Oh, wow.
So,
I've got my friend Tina. She's sending me some holy water from Lord Springs. So that's kind of cool. And then Danielle Borzan sending me some beads from a monastery, a Buddhist monastery, actually. So that's going to be interesting.
Now, things go on in my house. You know, they're not as much. And then we just started anointing the windows again, anointing the door. We worked from the back corner all the way up to the front. And get all the windows and the back door and stuff like that when anything starts happening. The other day I was laying on the couch and I had my head. We got an L couch. My wife's laying one way and I'm laying the other. My heads are beside each other. And I swear something rubbed my leg. And I said, I'm just rubbing my leg. My wife says, you better stop that. That is just the animals we got in the house. It's probably a cat. So we started we got to anoint the windows. So we anointed the doors and the windows again. But I noticed that a lot of things, like I said, when I burnt that Ouija board, a lot of things started happening. My backyard caught on fire.
Now this
While
is
I was
when
going to work.
Wait a minute. This is before, after, or during you burnt that Ouija board?
It was after I burnt that. I got a burn pile in the back.
Okay.
I put all my leaves and sticks and stuff like that. And I get a call from my daughter. I ain't burned nothing. It's rained and everything. And it was summertime. I hadn't burned anything. I'm working 6 days a week. Daylight to dark, till sometimes getting home 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was doing satellite at that time. And I get a call from my daughter saying the backyard's on fire. So I bust my butt getting home, and I get there, and sure enough, the whole backyard's on fire.
Holy cow.
And don't tell you where it came from, because around the burn pit was still green grass. My uncle had got there before me and got the water hose and was putting it out when I got there.
Dang, man.
But
so what? Okay, what do you think caused it? What's your first guess?
Messing with the Ouija board.
So
what do you do in your house now? Too, as I got rid of my grandma's stuff, like I got rid of the couch. Which I've never got rid of that couch. It was one of the best made couches you could buy. It's hard as a rock. I've already been through 4 different couches just to go on another one. I gave that to my uncle. Got rid of the bed that come from my grandmother's old house. I've gotten rid of my grandmother's bed. Built my own little hover bed. My wife said, I want a hover bed with lights underneath it. So I built it. YouTube is fun. She sees it, I got to do it. And as I got rid of stuff, it kind of died down too. But I don't know, because at that time, I burnt the Ouija board. All this stuff started happening. When I started anointing the windows, when that thing was on top of hers, when we started anointing the windows and stuff. So I could tell you it's the Ouija board or it was my grandmother's stuff from the old house.
Okay.
But I still have stuff from my grandma's. I got tissues, crystal bowls, with the real crystal bowls, with the party ladle, what they call them, punch bowls.
Oh yeah.
And I got a pot, glasses. Matter of fact, my son brought down an old phone. I even got the old phone from my grandma's house. I don't have a phone line no more, but we used to keep it because you could use it. You didn't have, power goes out
Mhm.
because it was just a corded phone. What else? My son and his friend. Now I got two 18 years old, a 24-year-old, my wife, me, and my 7-year-old son living in this house. I don't think none of them's going to leave. My 24-year-old daughter left for about maybe 3 months, and then she came back. But they went up in the attic and took the old fan. It's old metal fan. I'm talking about antique metal fan. Matter of fact, it ain't really got a cover to it. You just stick your whole hand through the wire mesh, and metal blades, you cut your hand off. They plugged it up, and the wiring caught on fire, the extension cord, everything. I was so mad because that's an antique, and I didn't want to mess with it. I was going to find the stuff to rewire, get it looking like it used to be. I made them put it back in the attic. He said, we need a fan in the shed to keep us while we're back there. And they went in the attic and they found that fan. But I don't. It could be them two things: getting rid of my grandmother's stuff or the Ouija board.
Well, that's the weird thing here. I hadn't really thought about this. My aunt came over Sunday, and there was an old cupboard. And it was upstairs, and actually the camera that I've got showing right now, that old cupboard was in the room to the left there. And she got it and moved it and took it to her place, which was fine and dandy. I don't have any problems with that. This place has been a little bit more active since then. That was an old antique piece of furniture. So I'm kind of wondering what now that you mention that, moving something like that has been in this house, for a good 30, 40 years. Easy. And it's a hell of a lot older than that. That's for sure. So
my grandpa was a World War II vet, and he's a paratrooper, and he's got medals and plaques from all the battles that he did over there. He got his best friend was blew up in front of him, and when he woke up, he had a big huge dent in his helmet. I want to say it was a grenade, and he carried his friend back across enemy lines, and he was already dead, but he carried him back. When my grandpa got older, he had, back in the old days, they called it hardening the arteries.
right.
And that's what I knew it was. That's all I knew about, hardening the arteries. Weird how terms change. You find out when you get older, hey, that's what that means.
Hardening
he started getting a little more senile.
Huh.
And he started getting meaner. It was nothing from my grandpa. He walked with a cane, and my brothers walked by him, and he just whacked the crap out of him with a cane and told him, shut up. When I grew up, my grandpa was nice. We sat at the garden, we watched and see of a rabbit. I remember the first time he shot a rabbit, he blew it in half. I cried. He put the gun down. He never shot the gun around me ever again. We go out there and look at the garden. He taught me all kind of stuff, how to build traps to catch rabbits, how to build traps to catch squirrels. If you want to kill a human, like that. But he would never, ever talk about himself in the war. never talk about it. The only reason I know the things that went on was my grandmother. And my grandmother told my aunt and my mom and stuff like that. I had pictures of them in Sweden with little Swedish women on the mountainside, and my grandma never got mad at it. She said that they have to deal with their stress over there, and that was one of the things they had to do. And my grandpa got hit with the grenade or whatever it was, and a dent helmet. He come back. He stayed in the hospital for, I think it was like a week or two. And he would not tell him what happened. He was about to get out. He only had 3 more weeks to go after that. And he didn't say I was hurt in combat to get a Purple Heart or anything like that. He just wanted to get out of there. It's what they say. What my grandmother said.
Right.
And I was on my uncle, my mama's second husband. He adopted me. He was in Vietnam. My real biological, he was in Vietnam. And my mom's fourth husband, he was in Vietnam. My uncle was in the Air Force. And my grandpa's 2 brothers. One, if you go to the USS Kid that's in Baton Rouge, my grandpa's brother died on that ship. He's got a picture and everything up there. Then his other brother, he survived. One was in the paratrooper. One was in the Navy. And I don't remember what the other uncle was. He wore, I think it was the Army. I don't, because he wore a khaki colored dress shirt with his medals on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that the VA go on. And my grandpa started going senile. And he started getting more mean and more mean and more mean. And I think he went a little crazy because things that would happen, you know. And then when he died, my grandmother, I lived with my grandmother most of my life. She sold that house. I moved in back with my mom, and she moved in with my aunt that bought that land and then built this house that I live in now. But there's another ghost that I got, but I can't remember it right now.
So have you ever went on an investigation and then something tagged along with you?
That could be it too. I've been to many a graveyard. Oh, I tell you one thing. Me and my wife went on our anniversary to Arkansas, and she wanted to go to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and go to that famous hotel up there. It's beautiful. Gives you the creeps. Beautiful. It gives you the creeps. We went up there and drove up to that hotel. Man, she'd been begging to go to this hotel. I'm begging. And we drove up in front of it. I looked at it and I said, I'm not staying in there. Ain't nothing going on. No. I said, no, it's got evil all in it. You can feel it. You can feel it coming from it. And
yeah,
we left there. And them ghost hunter guys, they caught an entity at a locker room on there. Years later. Yeah, but that house, that hotel, I've been to the front of it like several times, but I won't go in it. They just got an evil. I can't. that's evil. That's all I can explain to you about it. It's evil presence. You can feel it.
Wow.
I'm sorry about going on rabbit trails.
Oh, that's all right. If you
Rabbit trails, rabbit holes, and then vortexes.
holy cow,
It's
if you
left, right, left, right,
yeah,
left.
yeah, if you actually watched me, or watched me for 30 minutes trying to write and about stuff, I'm like a dog and a squirrel. Okay, try to I don't know if you'd say a channel, or no, I would say a channel. Try to remember my near-death experience. One memory will lead to another memory, and it's like, okay, this one starts, and then another one starts, and it's offshoots, and I talked to a few people, Danielle, that's in the chat there. Hey, Danielle, how you doing, hon?
Yep.
And I kind of say,
she comes on your show, won't she?
Yeah, she's co-host on Fridays. Wonderful lady, very talented. She's very blessed and gifted.
If I miss your shows, I listen to them while I'm driving.
Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that.
Okay, but and I do the same with Vault. And I'd say if there's a show comes on, I go through the list and listen while I drive. Like that, because I don't want to miss nothing. Yeah, the lady from Transylvania.
Yeah, that's she is Danielle. She actually is blood relative to Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of movies. Not a lot of movies made.
That's crazy.
About that.
Yeah,
I've heard people say this is what happened and everything else.
Oh, any historical character, especially with somebody that's pop culturized like Vlad the Impaler Dracula, there's been a tale or two that's been spun that's not exactly 100%, or actually, I would say a whole lot. It's not 100%, but yeah,
he was a Christian, wasn't he? And fighting the Muslims. Their advancement. That's what I heard
so.
one time.
I believe so. I believe
it's been a while.
Yep, I believe you're right.
And what I heard, they were so good at impaling, they could be alive still while they're impaled.
Oh yeah, that's exactly the reason why they did that, was to have them screaming.
That'd be the worst way to go. I think drowning would be better than that.
Oh, drowning, I don't know.
Crucifixion, I don't.
That's
I wouldn't want to go that either.
Yeah, the impaling and crucifixion is both torture. So it's just one of those things. Both are meant for be a spectator's deterrent.
This is what happens to you. If they did that nowadays, there wouldn't be no crime on the street.
Well, it just depends on where you are in the world. I'm sure that some of that is probably still practiced or worse. You don't know.
I don't know. I'm feeling that this world is getting more evil, and things are like more sightings of different things. Beast, Dogman.
Oh, I'd say the days of Noah are right on our doorstep, if not, beginning already.
Okay, I don't know about how much time you got left.
Oh, I got all kinds of time. I'm not on anybody's dime other than myself. So, up until
go
ahead.
I went to a birthday party at S15, red S15. She just turned 17, and she's having a birthday party at the pit. And I worked at a truck stop. And the truck stop was fixing to have an inspection come on. And my aunt owned the truck stop. One of my aunts, actually my great aunt. I worked for her, and I shorthand cooked, ran cash register, cleaned, whatever needed to be done, I did it. And I had cleaned till 12 midnight when I got off, and the next shift came on, and this girl wanted me to go to the birthday party. So I went there, and of course they're drinking. Okay. I didn't get drunk. I drank 3 beer, and the girl and my sister's husband, my sister's husband's sister, they were best friends. And we went to this party and like that, and she just got her driver's license. She wanted to drive a standard. So I go for it. So she got in the truck, and I got in the back of the truck. I fell asleep in the back of the truck. And I was sober when the party was over. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I took them 2 girls home, and they begged me to stay at the house, and I told them no. I said, I got to go to work 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm going home, take a bath, maybe get an hour of sleep, get up, go to work. Yeah, the inspection going on, and I got to get done. Well, I dropped them off, and on the way home, and next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital. According to the cops, I hit a tree at 80 miles an hour. When I hit the tree, the truck flipped over and was spinning in the middle of the road. I don't remember. I didn't even remember my mom's name. They were asking me who I was. I didn't remember none of that. My mom was there, and I didn't know who she was. I was saying, "Who are you? Who are you? What's going on? What's going on?" When I hit the tree and flipped upside down, these girls in a minivan saw it. Well, they stopped, and they watching my truck spin around. And I don't remember nothing that went on there. I had a dream. Don't know if it's real, but I had a dream about it. A year or so later. All I can go about what the girls told me. They said when they seen me hit the tree, flip upside down, start spinning. I was in my seatbelt. I had part of GMC, and pressed in my chest. The bruising. I had glass all in my face, glass on my. For 6 months, I'd wash my hair and get glass on my fingers. I got a scar on my face where a big old piece of chunk glass came out about 2 weeks later. I felt it. I had a cut on my chin. I got a scar on my chin. The girls told me that they saw me in the truck, spin around. I'm still seatbelted up. They saw me talking to somebody, and I hit the seatbelt, rolled over, and they said as the truck was spinning, they could see me talking to somebody. And next thing I know, I slid my back glass open while it's spinning around, and they're watching me. And then all of a sudden, I say something to somebody, and they could hear me audibly talking, like I was talking to somebody. And I say, now, and they said when I heard now, they saw me jump out the back window and roll underneath the truck and start crawling while the truck is turning around in the back of the truck. Crawling on the ground with it. And
Wow.
me saying, okay, what do I do now? And next thing they know, now, and I jump out, roll out, run underneath the truck, and I get up and look at them, and then I collapse. They picked me up and put me in the back of the van. They called the cops. The people that lived on the street across from the wreck, they called the cops. After them banging on the door for 30 minutes. And there was 4 girls in that car. And they said I told them that to help me flip my truck back over where I can get in it and go home. But the four girls I knew for years after that. Matter of fact, that was some of them we went ghost hunting with later on. With my friend Peter. Years later, I had a dream that I call her an angel. I don't know. It's just a lighted being. I didn't see a face. It was just light, brilliant light. And I was talking to her. And she was telling me what to do. Okay, now you undo your seatbelt. Now you jump out the back window. Now you crawl on the ground, you know. And that was in my dream. I don't know if that's true or not, but I still don't remember nothing of the wreck. I just remember that dream.
Wow.
And that was a year and a half later.
So these people that saw you actively while you're wrecking, saw you having a discussion and heard you have a discussion.
Yeah. I was having a discussion with somebody. They didn't see nobody in the truck with me. It was just me.
So how close were they? You know.
Well, they almost hit my truck, and I almost hit them. And they all got out the truck, had their flashers on, and they was watching and everything, looking for life, and they were watching as my truck was spinning, and they could hear me talk.
Holy cow.
And, that front tire on that driver's side was behind my driver's side door. It ripped the whole front end out, smashed the top end. The only thing that was glass that was left was the back sliding glass window. Cops said I was lucky to be alive because they estimated me hitting it at 80 miles an hour with all the damage.
Oh my God! Well, yeah.
So I don't.
Some angel was with you. That was for sure.
I thought that was the end of that. If I go out, If I go out like a restaurant and drink like a beer with my fajitas or something, my wife drives home. I won't drive. I'm a truck driver now, but that's before that. Before I became a truck driver. I don't drink and drive. Only time I drink 99.9% of the time is at the house, at the fire pit in my front yard, listening to you, vault, and music.
Well, you know, if it, sounds like you drink responsibly, but I haven't had a drop of alcohol since November 17th of 2015. That's when I did my drunk driving and a wreck. But God bless me with I was the only one that got hurt bad in there in that wreck, and I got the lion's share of it. So holy cow. And I have not been behind the wheel of a car, and I don't. Actually, the weird thing is, my girlfriend Shauna actually talked me into saying, "Yeah, I'll try to get my license back," but I hadn't done it yet.
Well, we're gonna drive the 4-wheel drive. Chair that Vault's gonna make you to go booger hunting.
Oh yeah, he's claimed that he's building me this frickin' 4-wheel drive wheelchair or whatever. I have no clue what the hell he's but he said he's building it, so we'll see. I don't know.
If he builds it, you got to go.
I gotta go. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yep, but no, I was like the stuff that's going on in my house with Bigfoot dog. I don't know what it is. I went on the internet searching, and I come across Wes's show, the Sasquatch podcast show.
Yeah.
And I was listening to him, and that's how I found Dark Waters and you and Vault.
Well, I can't buy, all the ones that you named is pretty cool people to listen to. So
yeah, that's now they got a GNA. And,
oh yeah, GNA, they are wonderful people. Actually, I'm probably going to be on their show Friday before I do my Friday show, Southern Supernatural, with Danielle and Tina. So I'll probably be on there talking about something. We'll see.
I started listening to them when YouTube's kind of weird. I missed some shows, and then all of a sudden, the next day, it's saying that you're going on live and find out, no, you was on live last night.
Yeah, you never know.
And sometimes I have to go back and see if I'm subscribed again. I do that.
Every once in a while, I'll catch myself being unsubscribed to some stuff, but it's rare. I have seen a lot of people say, "Hey, I've been whatever unsubscribed," but luckily, looks like a lot of people's watching me now. 67 over on YouTube. I don't know on. Well, it's probably a quarter of that on the other platforms I'm on. I don't know how many is on the Paranormal Radio app, but usually I get a handful over there too. But
well, you have a blessed night.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you, brother. You have been a wonderful call-in. That's for sure. I was like, holy cow. But yeah, man, I appreciate you calling in, Mike, with all those paranormal stories. And that last one was a doozy. I wonder who the hell you were talking to in the middle of that.
Dream. I don't know if that's real or not. I've had real dreams.
Oh yeah.
My 7-year-old son. I'd had a dream one night, told my wife we're having another baby. And she said, no, we're not, because my teeth are tied. And I told her a few days later, I kept telling her we're having another baby. I'm telling you, God's already told me we're having another baby.
Right.
And at that time, I wasn't working. I fell off a ladder and hurt my back and had to get surgery and stuff. A week or so later, I don't know how long, I had another dream, and it was a little baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the hospital, and nobody wanted him. And I saw him, and I fell in love with him instantly. And I went up there and told him, I want him. I will take care of him. And told my wife, we're having another baby. I don't know what's going on. I don't think you're having it. I don't know. If you have one, it's a miracle. But we're having another baby. And months and months and months later, it had to be over a year. I don't want to talk bad about this person, but she got into drugs. And she called my wife, and my wife brought her to the hospital, and she was pregnant, and she didn't want the kid. And she came to us, and we talked, and I said, well, look, if you don't want him, even after he's born, we'll help you out and everything. Trying to be as vague as I can possibly be, because this is Ken folks. If you didn't want him when he was born, we didn't know if it was a girl or boy. I assumed it was going to be a boy from my dream. Told her that if you decide, whatever you do, we'll be here. Well, she had the baby. She didn't want it, but her mom kept telling her she's going to keep it and everything. But I fell in love with it. I was there when he was born. I was at the hospital when he was born. Was in the delivery room. They delivered him and got her looking presentable, and called us all in. And I went in there, and I fell in love with that baby boy. And he's my son.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well,
She lived down the road from me, and I'd drive to the house and everything. The state took the kids away, all our kids, because the baby had drugs all in his system. And he's got autism, but he's 7 years old now. He couldn't speak until he was almost 3. He prayed every day, pray. The first word he said was daddy. It didn't sound like daddy. He's got I don't know, he can't pronounce his words right.
but a little speech impediment.
He's 7 years old. He never shuts up. We prayed. God answered it. If you want to learn patience, he'll teach you.
Oh, that's cool.
He is the talkative person I'm talking about. He loves bugs. You can't kill a spider. Roaches, the little wood roaches that fly. Can't kill them. Can't kill the snake. Well, it don't matter. He loves them all. He picks them up, carries them around, and he picked a wasp one day and it stung his hand. I told you not to pick that. I told you not to pick that red wasp up. You're gonna pick a red wasp up, it's gonna sting you. And he don't pick them up no more. He's wanting to be a plumber now.
A plumber. Well, that actually is a pretty good trade.
I know. That's what he knows. He goes to the doctor's office and he will talk about every body part there is. And the doctor told him, well, man, you know a lot for your age. Like that. And you gonna be a doctor? You want to be a doctor or something? He said, nope, I want to be a plumber. You would think I was a plumber. I got plumbing pipes all over my yard. I got them all. And he goes to people's houses. He broke my sister's plumbing.
Oh, geez.
I had to go and fix it. It was all that metal pipe, all rusted through and stuff. Right. Him and his nephew stepped on it and busted it. So I had to go replace all that. And then once you start replacing that, you got to replace it all. It's like you can't just stop at one spot. Nope. Because when you start fixing something, then something else breaks. Like that. Oh man, that boy has done some stuff.
Oh, I'd say
I've taken my toilet off about 5 times to get stuff out of it.
Oh, geez.
He broke the plumbing in my house. He found a hole underneath the sink and pulled on the water pipe, and it was the old gray pipe that's got the little clamps on it.
Oh yeah.
And he popped that, bust that. I had to cut a hole in the wall. I replaced all the plumbing in my house except one little section that's going from the toilet to the shower. And he nags me every time I come home, when are we going to replace that? Son, I got to take the whole wall down to replace it. I can't just paneling.
Well, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can do it. It's just I don't want to do it.
I can do it, but I don't want it.
That to me, he nags me. But one of his things is, if he does good in school, he behaves. And he does his work. He gets to, you'd say toy, but for him, it's plumbing pipe.
Huh.
he builds plumbing through the yard. He builds a sink, like that, and runs and watches it. Like that. He wants me to build my wife wants me to build it, a mock septic system made out of that clear plastic tubing. to show how septic system works. Yeah, I looked to buy one instead of building one. Yeah, you can't find it. I guess I'd be stuck building one. Not that he takes about 3-4 baths a day. He goes outside, plays, comes in, takes a bath, watches the whirlpools on bathtub. He builds his tubing in the bathtub, and then before you can take a bath, you got to take everything out, or you're going to step on something like a Lego. He had a bottle cap in there the other day I stepped on.
Oh, geez.
Started screaming. That hurt.
Well, Lego hurts too if you step on it. So, holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you got a nice little son there that's really inquisitive, and if he sticks with the plumbing gig, he's going to make a killing, man.
If he was a plumber, nope. That's what he was born to do.
Oh yeah,
because he is into plumbing. He loves pipes. He wants to learn everything about them, but he also wants to learn everything about the human body. So, I got told that
if you look at the human body, we're full of pipes anyway. Veins, you name it. The whole respiratory system is nothing but pipe anyway.
What's in dolls called? What you can take the pieces. You see the muscles and the skin.
Oh yeah,
and the organs inside. He's got all them. He can name all that. He's got 2 of them actually.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh,
he watches a little bit too much YouTube.
Oh, my niece's sons, that's all they do is watch YouTube. Oh,
I'm trying to remember the other ghost story, but I can't remember it. I know the ones that my mom told me, and my aunt. I know that one of my aunts from marriage to my uncle, she kept at my brother. They're divorced, but she's family.
Right.
No matter once you in the family, you're in the family.
Huh. Well, that's true.
She would come down from Wisconsin and Ohio and visit with the kids and us family get-togethers. She talked about the sleeping in this big bedroom. Oh, that's it. I'll tell you about that one.
Okay.
But after I get through this story, she said that somebody was out the window calling her name. He kept calling her name, Well, she didn't want to look out the window. But finally, she thought, well, maybe it's somebody warning me. Well, when she looked out there, she said it was the ugliest, beastliest thing that she's ever seen. And she took off to this bedroom, has a bathroom, and she took off it. And the window, she said she got in the window and she's covered in the bathtub, curled up in a ball, crying and praying. And this thing came to that window. Now, that window is almost 10 feet off the ground. And it was in the window calling her and pecking on the window. And everything at that house. Every time she says it was a woman, but it was ugly, nasty, beastly looking. She wouldn't stay in that room after that. Of course, I didn't stay in that room either. That room had 3 beds in it and twin size beds in it. It was where my mom and them, when they were raised in that house, slept. The bedroom I slept in was my great grandpa's room, and when he died, I moved into it. That room there, I didn't know this, but people that owned the house before that, I'll tell you the story first.
Okay.
I used to date a girl, and she would tell me she was pregnant. And next thing you know, I lost it. Then she's pregnant, and lost it. Pregnant, lost it. Well, we were supposed to go out on a night date one night. And I went to her house to pick her up. Lo and behold, she's out with another man. Well, talking to her mom, everything. She asked me, I don't know. We supposed to go on a date tonight. She's out with this guy, you know. Well, I told her, I said, well, she keeps telling me she's pregnant, but then she tells me she lost it. And then she's pregnant, she lost it. That's what I said. What? I said, yeah. She told me she's pregnant. Well, they drove up at that time, and she told me she didn't want to date me and run there do with me. Well, broken heart, cry a little bit, go about your way. I live with my grandmother's, and I'm sitting in the living room one night, and she calls me up, tell me, yes, she is pregnant, but it's not yours. It's this other guy. And I hear that bedroom door open. And I'm looking through the foyer where the phone is. I'm looking at the foyer. I see the door open because you can see the lights from the nursing home coming through the windows. And the door closed. And then you can hear somebody walking toward the living room. And I told my ex-girlfriend's mama, I said, somebody's in this house. I got to let you go. And somebody's in the house. I said, somebody's in this house. I'm like that. I got to let you go and call cops. This thing walked up through the foyer. And you remember the floor heaters? The gas floor heaters?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a brick house, but it was off the ground. Well, they had that in the foyer. And you heard it hit that metal, up across the metal, and walk up to the living room, but nothing was there, and then you didn't hear no more. I don't know if it hit the carpet or what. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't even call 911. I took off running to my grandmother's room and got in the middle of the bed with my grandma and grandpa. I was, 20, 21, 22.
Wait, okay. You're 21, 22, and you got scared enough to run into your grandma.
Run into my grandmother and got grandma name. My grandma was a prayer woman. Went to Pentecostal church, same church that I was raised in.
So if you got
You
scared,
could hear her praying through the house.
if you got scared enough to run into your grandma's room at 20 or 21, how the hell did you decide to do paranormal investigation?
Don't tell me I ain't scared. I'm still scared.
Okay. So what was
Some
the
of that stuff
attraction?
freaks me out, but I
What was
don't
the
go
attraction? Why
alone.
did you
by
want to do
myself.
that?
Like I said, there's 4 or 5 or more people with me.
Right. So what was the attraction for that? Just because of kind of like an adrenaline rush, or you just
remember
wanted
that
to...
thing I told you about the demon shadow person in that room? It was my great grandpa's room. They touched my brother and my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me into it. And then seeing a little boy, and you see the shows,
Right.
and hey, let's do this. And I say don't do it unless you know how to pray through before you do it and after you do it, because they follow you home or something. That's the Ouija board incident. I don't know if that caused it. My grandpa's removing that stuff out of the attic and out of the house. Could have caused it. But I brought my sister and my niece to the graveyards, and we walked in that one graveyard on the west side in what they call Flatwoods, some kill area. But we drove to the other one, and I parked in front of it, and they asked me to go, and I told them, no, you can go by yourself because I ain't going. explain the things that I've seen there at that one. I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
You know how they mock you. You know, your sister's got to mock you, your wife's got to mock you a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if you mock you. You can mock me all you want. I'm not going. Have fun. Here's a flashlight. Here's the camera.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I went on a couple of paranormal investigations. The one I actually caught something on was over in Flat Rock, North Carolina, outside of a not a Presbyterian, what was it? John of the Wilderness Church, Big Red Door Church, and they had real old Civil War turn. Even had a slave graveyard a segregated slave graveyard in it. And one of the most famous people that was buried there was a Messenger or something like that. He was actually part of the Civil War. Who was the president of the Confederate States? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but he was the
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, right. He was on Robert E. Lee's executive board. Messengers.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was a weird name, but anyway, he's buried there, and I took a picture of his. It was actually one of the weirdest, most exotic headstones that I've ever seen, and there was red orbs all over the place. It was like it's snowing red orbs.
To me, it's the unknown, and I want to know about it. If curiosity kills the cat, I'm dead.
How many lives you got? Anyway,
it's like this things going on in the house. You know, you want to find out. When I got a computer, I was on the computer all the time. When I was off on the computer looking like that, then we go. You know, they got a graveyard down the road from my house it's an all white graveyard, all white people, and the groundskeeper was a black man, and they wouldn't even let him be buried there. And he's buried outside the graveyard, off in the woods a little bit. His grave's still there, taken care of. They say you can see him sometimes. I've never seen him. I've seen people out there in the graveyard doing seances.
Why in the hell?
In all white dresses with candles burning.
No offense that people go out and investigate graveyards and stuff, but to go out there and say mean things, do seances and stuff like that out in the graveyard, you're desecrating their memory. Is how I see it.
If I go to a graveyard and it's locked, they got the fence around it's locked.
Well, you got to be.
I won't even go in.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful about going out to graveyards after sundown, because there's some laws out there. You get trespassed real quick.
Yeah. There's a graveyard out there at Marco. It's all black graveyard. There's black people buried there. And when I was about 10, 11 years old, just got a 14 shotgun, and my uncles brought me hunting on what we call the 100-acre woods. One of my uncles, by marriage, his brother was talking about this graveyard down there, and there's a man in the tombstone not buried. Well, we all went and seen down there. This is out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking about dirt roads, cutting back and forth, and then you have to walk through the woods to the graveyard. And there's a coffin on top of the ground on um, oh, shoot, metal stilts that's rusted really bad. The lid was open on it, and you can see it. It was a black man. He was really deteriorated really bad. Matter of fact, there was mice in the grave, and I was about 10, 11 years old. I didn't even know where this was at. I couldn't find my way back there if I tried to even now. But they left him unburied. It started raining, so they left him unburied. That
Wow.
and about I had to ask my wife on this one. The news story came out that undoubtedly, as people, hey, let's go see the grave, somebody told the authorities, and the authorities went and found it. And they finally buried him. But the trees the trees in the graveyard was all over the grave. It hadn't been mowed in, when I say years, I'm talking about
Oh, yeah.
thorn trees that were about 4, 5 inches across,
Oh, yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
more. Oak trees, they
there,
were growed up.
there was old
The
Civil War.
grave,
There was old Civil War graveyard that I used to ride my bicycle that when I was a kid, probably 3 miles from down the road from me. Didn't know anything about it. Had no clue I was riding a bicycle past a graveyard. And then about maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, the family that owned that property all of them moved down to, I think, Texas actually. And then they started, wonder what happened to that old, wood, log cabin. And so then they started looking around, and then they got in contact with the town council, and they got some people to go out there and, bush hog a path out to that old graveyard, and I found that old log cabin out there. And I had no clue that I was riding by a old Civil War graveyard.
Fascinating. I mean, you don't even know if you're building your house on somebody's grave. That happens all the time. When they put a highway in, they find graves. And, I just don't understand how. I know it was a different time and different era, but I just can't imagine doing that to somebody. And just because the color of their skin, you're going to put them in a different graveyard and a different grave. And all their life, they took care of their graves.
Right.
Mowed
Right.
it, made sure it was clean,
Different
refreshed the flowers.
time, different part of the world. The stuff that went on during the Civil War is rampant now in different parts of the world. So, to say that slavery is gone, no, it's not. It's actually more rampant now than ever.
There's more slaves than there is. There's more slaves today than there was back then.
Right, absolutely, without a doubt.
And in America.
Yeah. There is unfortunately an underground thing going on with that too. So you just have to not pay attention, but actually read the real news and real stories and talk to the right people. Then you'll get a beat on what is actually happening now and then.
Yep.
So, but Mike, I appreciate you calling in.
Talking to you.
Yeah, man, I love talking to you, brother.
My wife is beeping in.
Oh, wow. Well, I appreciate you calling and sharing a whole lot of your stories. You made this radio show, or I guess you could call this a radio show. It's on the digital platform. So appreciate you calling in, brother.
You have a blessed day.
Yeah, God bless you.
Be careful.
You too, brother.
Hey,
Talk to you later, man.
Later.
All right. Bye. All right. There's Mike, man. All right. Let's say a couple hellos. We got Chicka in there. Joshua Marshall. What's that? Yeah, Joshua Marshall. What's going on, brother? Jennifer, I appreciate you. Always See ya. Thank you for coming and catching the last bit of the show. Let's see. So 11:12 here, 10:12 in Central Time. I will give you, let's give to half past. Last call for last call for alcohol. Anything goes. Open lines is still open. 931-994-6917. Or if you want to jump in the over there on Chasing the Truth Sean G YouTube live stream and grab a link I'm about ready to post here and jump in. Just remember to extinguish your listening device in the background once you get on. StreamYard link here. If you want to be a part of the show, go ahead and do that. Jennifer Metzger, if anybody I have ever listened to that had a Dogman story that I absolutely believe without a doubt, you'd have to beat me senseless, and then I'd still say, yeah, Jennifer has one of the best Dogman stories out there. That's the lady right there. Absolutely believe her without a doubt. I've heard a few Dogman stories, since I started doing this stuff with Dark Waters 4+ years ago, and she is by far the number one, I believe. Okay, we got another caller. Give me just a second. We'll get this caller on here. Well, hit answer. There we go. All right, on the Anything Goes open lines, you're live on there. What's your name? Where are you from?
Josh Paul.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You need to take me off of the speakerphone though, or whatever however you're talking. It's really muffled.
All right, what about now?
A little bit better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right, brother. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. What's your name? Where are you from?
Josh Marshall. I'm from top part of Mississippi.
Josh Marshall, buddy. Oh, so what's going on with you, bud?
Well, I messaged you on your page there one day. I was going to tell you about maybe a Sasquatch deal that I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But I had one crazy thing. Me and a friend of mine was heading to Tupelo, Mississippi. I was playing up there one night, and we had turned down the side road trying to get to Highway 45, and down the side road is a real sharp curve to the left. And what happened is I came down the hill and started head up to the left, and I would have swore that it was really somebody in the ditch, and they turned to their left and headed up like an embankment. And it looked like the Joker had on a hoodie, but the ditch is like 3 foot deep. And he turned and stepped up the hill, and I seen it, and I went on past, didn't say nothing. And my friend just happened to look at me at the same time and said, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did see that." So me and him both was kind of like, "Oh, well, I guess I've seen something." And I've been listening to your show for a long time. So it's the first time I ever called into anything. So I'm probably rambling on, sound like an idiot. But yeah, that was one of the things that I had going on, or that I'd seen, and I believe that's what it is. There's been, other people say that they've seen the exact same thing through there, and seen that. And there's another time that it's a little weird. It's kind of, I don't know. Have you ever heard of? I've listened to other radio stations and stuff, or podcast stuff, say that infrasound can make you see weird things.
Yeah, it's supposed to do all kinds of weird things. That's sort of like the military stuff that they hit you with infrasound to discombobulate you, make you disoriented. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is kind of where I'm kind of calming down now. I was sorry about rambling.
That's all right.
Anyway, all right. Now this one is kind of weird. This has all been, I would say, about a year ago. No more than, maybe a year ago, maybe a little more. I'm not, not really sure what day, but up toward the end of Mississippi. I'm about 15 miles from the Alabama line and about 20 to the Tennessee. I'm right there in the corner. And one night, it was late at night. Now, I wasn't drunk, wasn't messing up, none of this stuff. So, that's the first thing everybody always says or hears or says or anything. But, I assure you, none of that. I was smoking out the window. Okay, I was standing at the bathroom, smoking out the window, and it had to be 2:00 in the morning. And being a musician, you get in late, and you just stay up for a while, then you fall asleep, back and forth. Well, I happened to look out there, and there's a stretch of trees, probably 100 yards, I guess, from the back window, and there's a light pole out on back past it, and there's like a cow field, a cow pasture, a little small field, and on the other side of it is a light, light pole, booger light. All right. Well, in between these two trees, I've seen. I get like this little motion, right? I can tell there's some motion. Well, I get to looking, and I can see what looks like an arm, right? And it looks like it's holding its hand. Or it looks like this arm is hanging up on this other branch that's, little pine trees that connect to each other. You know how, thick little line of. Well, just what I was seeing was a pine tree and was, wiggling back and forth. Well, that's not the weird.
Hey,
weird
Josh,
thing.
you're breaking up, buddy. You're fading in and out real bad.
Oh, what about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But I was seeing this pine tree limb, like, flop, pretty good. It was going, horizontal. And I seen this pine tree, like, waving all weird, And I get this ungodly, I'm talking about a fear come over me, right? That I have never in my life felt before, ever. And I've seen it as fairly hairy situations, right? I have never felt anything like this. Okay. And it was like to where every hair on my arm stood, straight up. I was scared, slapped to death. And I would hear, and it's definitely quiet. Just quiet. And it's really the only light that's showing out through there is that light, off the back of that field, right? And I hear a twig break here and a twig break there. Well, I think I'm kind of just wigging myself out, right? Well, I stick my phone out the window and I take a couple pictures. Well, I get to looking through them, and sure enough, sure as day, it looks like there's something in these stinking pictures. And I got my mom and dad, or my dad's a pastor, and I showed it to him. He says he don't see nothing, but my mother, she looked straight at it and seen it. Was like, oh well, that's nothing. That must be a cow. That's not no cow. I would have seen a cow, But get back to the deal with that thing. I was scared, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, when I decided, it was time to leave well enough alone and just shut the window and just kind of chill out. Well, when I shut the window, it's like my head got to almost like I was, I guess maybe dizzy, but real disoriented, and it was like it felt like a whoom, 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 whoom inside my face. Like somebody was taking my hand and waved it in front of my face real fast. And just weird. Well, I was seeing, to make sure I wasn't completely nuts, right? To make sure I didn't slip off my rocker. I went back up and looked again, and I'd be a witness still out there. And I don't know if it was just me being scared to death or what, but I just set the stupid window back down and went and laid down and stayed awake, plumb to like morning. I mean, and another good 3-4 hours till daylight broke. And every time I would close my eyes, I would close my eyes and hear the ceiling fan going. I mean, does that make sense?
Right. That makes sense.
Like I could hear it going, whoa, 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 this whole time, And every time I closed my eyes, I would see this stinking thing, and it I was scared plumb to death. I've never been scared for my life like that. And yeah, that's the junk that I had kind of happened to me. But does that sound like that infrasound business or?
It could be. I have heard a couple of stories with infrasound, and that sounds right in line with what I've heard.
It was my ears would pop. It's like almost like somebody would slap me upside the head, pop my ear. Is right. How bad my ears would pop. It's really it's really weird. But yeah, sorry about rambling on, Brother Sean.
That's all right, Josh.
Show.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate what you do, man. You and Vault, all the guys, love every, all stuff. All you guys do a great job. Keep up what you're doing, man.
Oh yeah, Vault Nightmares. He's a super guy. I have much respect for that fellow.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I just want to kind of get you intake on that. If that would be something that that you have heard about, that would go along with that,
Right.
I actually had everything, everything to go, thought out in my head before I called you, and just everything went all jumbled up. So maybe I didn't make too big of a fool out of myself.
No, man, you did a fantastic job. No problem. Great story.
I appreciate you, brother. Man, I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a good night, my friend, and keep doing what you do, brother.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. There was Josh from Mississippi. Holy cow, what are we doing with the freaking bots? Well, Danielle, good night. I'm pretty sure that she's a night owl. If anybody could be a vampire, Danielle could be. Absolutely, without doubt. So, holy cow. Somebody hit that those two bots up and put them, just block them, get them out. Get them out of the chat there. But, wow, that is incredible. So, appreciate everybody. And that was the last caller of the night. We had 3 callers tonight. Big Cole for calling in the very first few minutes. I appreciate everybody following me over. I don't know what the heck happened to StreamYard and my link to the back to YouTube. That was just crazier than crap. But anyway, there you go, folks. Friday night, we're going to have Southern Supernatural, along with Tina Bice and Daniel Borzan that was in the chat there. Also, Keith Hass was a guest last Friday. Going to have him back, and we're going to be doing some tarot card readings. I don't do tarot card readings, and I think I've had actually twice, 3 times. So I had 3 tarot card readings, and 2 of them was actually by not Tina, gee whiz, Danielle. But there you go. Going to be doing live. If you want to have your tarot card reading, jump in, do that. Who knows what we're going to get into Friday night. But Friday night, I'm also going right before my show. I'm going to be over on Casual Conversations with GNA over there, trying to, I'll get that all panned out and I'll post that in my community tab over on Chasing Through Sean G. I appreciate everybody that's popped in and been part of the show. God bless y'all. Let's pop up the prayer thing here. Get the prayer going on here. This is a perimeter prayer, which I've kind of settled into these work. And I think they bless everybody. Hopefully. That's my intention. Lord Jesus Christ, in thy love and mercy, establish a perimeter of protection around everyone and myself and all our loved ones, those who pray for us and their loved ones. May the holy angels guard us and all our possessions, establishing a perimeter of protection around us, rendering us immune from any kind of demonic influence. Ask that no demonic bondage, door, demonic entity, portal, astral projection, or disembodied spirit may enter the space of 100 yards in all directions of us. Ask that any demons within the vicinity or any that should try to enter here be rendered deaf, dumb, and blind. That thou would strip them of all weapons, armor, power, illusions, and authority. That thou would bind, rebuke, and disable them from communicating or interacting with each other in any way. Remove them, sending them directly to the foot of thy cross, Jesus, Son of the Most High. I ask this in thy glorious and most holy name. Dear God, please look after those folks that are in pain, that are hurting mentally, physically, spiritually. Send your angels of mercy and protection and comfort to those that you know desperately need you and need your blessings. In Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen. But holy cow, fantastic show. Sue, God bless you. Everybody that's been in the chat, doing the chat thing. Destiny, good to see you. I miss you being in the chat so often. Catch on the flip side. Hey, there's Cisco. Buddy, if you want to be in a good show, a real well-informed show, Journey Through the Gates Paranormal Podcast, Cisco, she is wonderful. Go over there and join those folks over there. If you want to find me participating in a show, that is one show that's, if I can catch it on, I'm right there with you. Good Lord have mercy. And I appreciate you being part of the show tonight. Like I said, Friday, I'm going to be doing Southern Supernatural with Danielle Borzan and Tina Bice. And our guest, which was last Friday, our guest was Keith Hass. He's going to be on, and they're going to be doing some tarot card readings. I don't personally do that. Never was interested in doing that. I'll put my 2 cents in if I see it applicable, but we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, but who knows? Good Lord, have mercy. Now, let's go to actually the outro music. Oh, geez. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Let me find the actual name of this. Name of this outro music. See if I can find it. Hello, Mac. You're supposed to, when I look for it, you're supposed to put it up. Oh, shit. Well, anyway, it's in the description. But Shauna picked this out for me, and I tried to play it at the first of it, but I don't know what the hell happened with StreamYard, but I had to stop and, get rid of the first instance of the StreamYard or first instance of the YouTube and make a totally brand new one. But anyway, here we go. God bless y'all, and I'll see you Friday night and Saturday night, and whenever, especially over on Casual Conversations with GNA. And if Cisco, I think she wants me to be over on her show to do some stuff with her, but I'm open for anybody that wants me to be on their show, talk about whatever from, paranormal, whatever I can, put my vocal cords to, and even including near-death experiences. You never know. But anyway, God bless you all, and we'll see you on the flip side. Keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard, folks. God bless you all.